LinkedIn and collaborative articles. What are they and should we look at them? Since we talked about top voices on the pod, I thought I'd mention this too. The short of it is collaborative articles are built upon AI, I still believe, so don't quote me on it. But the whole idea is that they kind of cluster different topics within different areas like digital marketing, copywriting. And the whole idea has been to roll it out as a way for people to share their own input on a specific topic, like how to, I think I contributed to how to get started in your marketing career. And then it gives you different prompts and different people can contribute. And if you get chosen or selected, I mean, they say if you contribute to 3 articles, but I think it has to be either liked or like a good contribution, I think, on articles of one specific area or topic, then you can get a badge of a top voice within that area. And let's be honest, we like badges. It's a bit of cred, right? That's how they're doing it as well.
Yeah, I like
it's a bit of cred. And what you do as well, if you start contributing, then LinkedIn will send you recommendations of other articles to contribute as well. I've had a couple of people following me and liking some of my little snippets of contribution from the back of it. I'm still fighting my chance to get my little top voice, like by actually giving some good advice. But I want to see if I can do it. But I want to try it. There's a couple of pros and cons, and then I want to hear your opinion, Becca. The first thing about as a pro is obviously it can be good for exposure, whether we like it or not. Reading top voices in the community or top community voice, whatever that might be, still gets a bit of extra authority and credibility from people, whether we like it or not. A bit like a blue tick. One of the cons that I want to mention before I hear your opinion is that one of the cons is that it still is a bit of a practice. And I don't know if you're going to keep the top voice, if you have to keep contributing to do it, how long it's going to take you to do it. Because again, I think there has to be some quality control. So it sounds good, but it's not just like you write down a couple of sentences and you're done. And so it is still time. So is it worth it? We'll see if I get there as well. But I found it was exciting. And I think it's something that everybody can do. If you want to try on LinkedIn, it's something that you can easily do by using collaborative articles as well. What are your thoughts?
Well, I quite like it, and I think it's the same as you, really, on my list of things that I want to try and aim for. But I do feel like I suppose I'm putting pressure on myself to be a perfectionist about it. And if I saw one of the things, I'd be like, oh, I want to think about this, write some notes, be very like selective and succinct with what I then contribute. So I think that might be a barrier, certainly for me, but also other people as well. It sounds like we're quite similar in that way, of wanting to make sure that what you do contribute is good, because ultimately you do want it to be valuable and helpful for other people. I think one of the other good things about it, though, is hopefully it will give some gentle encouragement to perhaps people who are using LinkedIn but don't say much very often, perhaps because they don't know what to talk about, or again, it could be a time thing, but maybe in a different way. You know, they don't want to spend time thinking about the prompt, as it were. And I know one of the biggest things that I talk about at the moment with clients is, you know, writing thought leadership posts on LinkedIn and the benefits that can give you. And even if you've got a really sort of healthy company page, it's so important to have a good presence from individuals as well. And I think this could really nicely tie into that. And again, take away some of that sort of barrier, as it were. If somebody goes, well, what should I talk about though? This could, you know, solve that problem quite easily. And you know what? We do all love badges, and I would like one. That for me is like, oh, please.
That's how they get us, goddammit. That's how they get
do.
us. That's what I'm going to say. One of the things that, first of all, thank you for mentioning that, because one of the things that you made me reflect on about as well is that if you are kind of collecting those contributions, and I would say even repurposing them for your own content, that can be another great idea as well. It can be a starter for your own post. So that's the other thing, especially if you're spending some time of it. It doesn't mean that it has to be the only thing you do. It can be a kickstart for something. If you want to check out for yourselves, by the way, you go to linkedin.com/advice. I figured out the link. I was trying to figure out the URL. And then you can find a whole list. You have to be logged in, but you can find a whole list. There's lots, almost too many in my opinion, but I understand why, areas and like angles you can take, like gazillion skills. They're basically tied on skills-ish. And then if you click on the individual post based on what you like, again, the gamification as well, you will see different people that are the top contributors for that post. So that's again where people can like and stuff. So basically then you show up, and it's just like, it's an element of discoverability. So I think it's really clever in that respect. So there's a lot of power within that, but I agree with you. I'm the same. I think the most important thing we can do is, being kind to ourselves and just, try it and not be too hung up on the perfectionist streak, which is easier said than done. I know.